This, ladies and gentlemen, is what started this whole mess. Hey, everybody, this is CalAir, and welcome to another episode of the Picking a Daisy show. We are back, and we're going to talk about this here collection. We're going to specifically talk about one of the carbines, shall we say, in this collection. I put the rifles in order, historical order here. And I'll just go through them really quick. There's a little disorder over here, but we'll get to that. What we have on the far end over there is the Markham King Chicago. That one's from 1898, 1899. The next one is a Model C 350 shot, and that came out in 1912. The one next to that, this one right here, is a Model H. Of course, everything after the Markham is a Daisy, except for this one here. All right, so right here we have the Model H, and the Model H came out in 1914. Then we have the granddaddy, the Model 40 Defender, and the Model 40 Defender came out in 1916. I believe this is a 1917 variant. Then we have the Model 25. I'm going to talk about the Model 25 right now, but this is what we're getting into. Yeah, yet again, we're getting into the model number 25. Next to that, and this Model 25, by the way, is a 1917 variant. Then we have another. Hold on, where are we? Oh, we almost missed out on this one right here. This is a Markham King number 17. So this is not a Daisy either. But this is a Markham King number 17, and most of you guys know this is one of my absolute favorites. All right, then we got the Model 25. Then we have this Frankenstein. I don't know what this is. I mean, we know it's a 102 variant that eventually became the Cub and then the Buck, which is still sold today. So I really don't know. I think this is a Frankenstein. It's like old from Plymouth, right? There's an old Plymouth model, so we know it's pre-1940s. But then it's got aluminum. So I don't know what's going on there. But that was found and given to me by my good friend Ben. And this here is, I'm getting into these, aren't I? I got to stop it. All right. And this is the probably 60s version of the Buck as well. This was actually made by Daisy Hedon, a calculator company. Yeah. The early company. Yeah. Calculator companies. Then this here is the Power Line, the very first variant from the 1980s. This is one of those, modern. This is 2014, but this is my favorite shooter. Yeah, if I want to hit something for real, out to 50 yards, yeah, I'm lobbing one over with this. And then we have a non-Daisy, and this is from the 1950s, and this is the Marksman. Probably one of the most popular videos on the Picking a Daisy show, ironically. But we're going to get into this one right here. This was highly requested, and so that's why we're doing this video. And by the way, I hope you're having a good summer. It's been pretty mild here in California, but I have a funny feeling it's going to start heating up. But hopefully things stay kind of cool for everyone out there. This, ladies and gentlemen, is what started this whole mess. I only have about $4,500 worth of BB guns right here. Yeah. Who has that? That's ridiculous. Okay. But this is what started it. When I moved out of the country into the big city, I was getting in trouble. Well, I couldn't shoot firearms. So I tried pellet guns. I got into pellet guns. Just was getting into trouble with the pellet guns. They still were too loud. So I was just in the market for something, a shooter, or the most quiet shooter I could find. Came across a modern Chinese Model 25, which I don't have one anymore. But this particular, well, hold on, I digress. I got the Model 25. It's a 50 shot, like this. Has a shot tube, right? And by the way, this is a modern shot tube that's working in a gun from 1917. That's crazy. Okay. So, yeah, I don't use the old one. I have the old one, the shot tube for the old one, and we'll get into that. But the older guns, you can't shoot steel. You have to shoot lead out of those because of the barrel and the shot tube on 1930s and before are all brass barrels. And so you're going to ruin your brass barrel with steel ammo, right? So anything from 1940s and before, you're going to ruin the barrel with the steel ammo. And it's hard to find that lead ammo. I've got a bunch of it, but still. I use the modern day shot tube on this so I can shoot this all day long with steel. Now, this is a particularly interesting Model 25. After I got that Model 25, I did some research. I got really interested. I bought one from eBay, a vintage one. I had a bunch of Model 25s. I tried to find the earliest variant, which is this one. And then I got all the variants from the 1950s with the plastic stocks. It just got nutty. It got nutty. And I really love them. Each one, they're so interesting, these model number 25s. But how many Model 25s can you have, right? So I let go of, I had to have at least 12 variants of the Model 25. I was amazed at how well the plastic variants sold from the 1940s. My collection pretty much stops at about 1930s, right? And then these are sort of more modern variants. Now, this particular model, number 25, the tag on this shows that it was a whole $3. Yes, it was. I think this is one of my tags. I have this valued at about $1,500, perhaps. That might be steep. Yeah, maybe more like $1,000. I don't know. Depends on the collector. But this is a very interesting variant because you got the flat screw on the top. Okay, but you have, this is nickel plated. Yeah, this is nickel plated. Look at this really close if you can. Connect that. Can you get that? That's nickel plated. Yeah, nickel plated. I'm talking away from the mic. Now, this variant came out in 1917. There may be a good chance that this is perhaps more of 1920s because these nickel-plated Model 25s, I'm not sure were ever really produced, mass manufactured, but were done by the employees. Very interesting. Now, the upper part of this is definitely 1917, early variant. And so I literally Frankensteined this out of the Model 25s that I had just because I know that might lessen the value, right? However, you want the gun that you want, right? And this is the gun I wanted. I wanted this nickel plating and the early variant from this upper. Now, a lot of you guys know this, but let's go into this in just a second. A lot of you already know this. The upper, you just undo this screw right here, right? You undo that screw, and this comes right off. If you have the more modern version, you have to take the safety pin out in order to get that off. It's a little secret that you might not know. Unless, of course, you've seen my many previous Model 25s, the videos I've done for them. Okay, so what's also interesting about this is we talked about the shot tube. We talked about this being actually more 1920s perhaps, but the shot tube is interchangeable with the 1916 Model 40. Of course, this is a 1917 variant, but same difference. The shot tubes are the same on this, so they're interchangeable. If you want a pump action, then boom, you're ready to go. If you want a lever action, you're ready to go. All with the same shot tube. And the shot tube from modern number 25, which is in this one, also fits in this 1916 Defender. Mind blown. Yeah, it blew my mind. So that is, this is the Model 25. I've probably done at least 2 or 3 videos, and I'll link them down below. Sort of pulled them off line for a bit, and now I've made them public again. So I might have a little bit more information if you're looking for more information on the Model 25s. Again, this is the one that started it all. At the end of it all, I probably collected about 10 grand worth of BB guns, predominantly daisies. So I'm going to go into some of these other guns in future episodes. I am relinquishing a certain amount of these. Of course, everything's for sale for a price, but some of these I don't think I would get the price that I want for them, so I don't really push them. But some of these other ones are going to be a great deal for a collector. Feel free to go over to pickingadaisy.wordpress.com and you can see what is available and what's left in the collection. You can also see what I had in the collection. Pictures of those and whatnot are still up. And of course, you can check out a lot of the videos that I've done. I wasn't able to make a video of every single gun that I've had, but I certainly made a lot of videos of the different ones. So this is one of my favorites. I don't think I'd ever get $1,500 for this, but otherwise, I'm gonna keep her. Same thing with this. The amount of money, I don't think many people would be willing to fork out for what the value of this is. These are museum pieces, folks. Museum pieces. I just can't get rid of those at a flea market, so to speak. At flea market prices. No, that ain't happening. I think that's it. If you want to see, well, if you want more information on this, you check out my other videos, the model number 25. You check out my other videos, or ask a question down below. If you think I need to go even deeper than I've gone with the Model 25, then let me know, and we'll do it. Otherwise, if you'd like to see a video regarding any of these models, let me know in the comments down below, and that will be our next video. Thanks for watching. I'd like to give a shout out to the Backyard Air Gunner. I hope you're getting better, you're healing. I hope you're feeling good enough to go out there and just keep on shooting. And thank you very much for being a friend of the channel. And be sure to go check out Backyard Air Gunner. The Backyard, boy, am I saying that right? Yeah, Backyard Air Gunner channel. And if you haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe. That of course, allows this whole thing to keep flying. And I really appreciate you folks that have already subscribed. Aloha to all you folks in the comments. I'll be seeing you soon. All right, we'll see you next video.